Geoff Downes, Steve Howe, Carl Palmer, and John Wetton. Visionaries with the Buggles, yes, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and King Crimson. They came together to form the first supergroup of the 80s. Now they're celebrating their 25th anniversary, with all 4 original members reunited. Asia, in concert. Go to VH1Classic.com for the latest info, tour dates, artist bios, and more. Asia, in concert, presented by VH1 Classic.
So what do you get when you mix one of the finest drummers in rock, a guitarist who's unsurpassed, a master of the keyboards, and some silky smooth vocals? All right, I know you probably figured out the answer, but just to make my bosses happy, those ingredients make up the group hanging with us today, Asia. Hey, I'm Lynn Hoffman, and welcome to Hangin' with Asia. Now, if you're wondering why I'm absolutely gleaming with excitement, well, the original Asia lineup of Geoff Downes, Carl Palmer, Steve Howe, and John Wetton have reunited for a 25th anniversary reunion tour. It's the first time the guys will be playing together since 1983, and you can check out originalasia.com for a list of tour dates near you. Eddie Trunk sat down to hang with the guys as they shared how this momentous reunion came to be.
So, gentlemen, on behalf of all the Asia fans all around the world, I join them in saying welcome back. It's great to have you back and active once again. And I guess the first time it kind of came on our radar here at VH1 Classic that Asia was going to become active again, it was not too long ago when I saw you, Carl. Yep. And you were here and you had kind of let everyone know. And, of course, the buzz started right from there. So why don't we start with you? Take us through the process on how this all came together and you're here sitting with the original 4 members of the group again.
Well, I think Geoff and John had started talking about doing something. They were already working together. It then seemed to be a good idea because it was the 25th anniversary. We thought, oh, hang on a minute. And we looked back at what had happened. The first album had been incredibly successful here. And we had to find other things to hang the idea on. And I think the fact that we're going to be playing the whole of that first album, which was a very big album here for us, coupled with the anniversary, all of the original members, it just seemed a very honest approach to this is why we should do it, you know, and it felt good. And it was a very, very easy thing to come together. It just happened naturally. I mean, we've all known each other for 30-odd years, you know, so it's not like we've just sort of met, and we've been in contact. Steve's worked with Geoff, I've worked with John, and so, you know, in and out over the last few years. So this was a natural thing, really, to happen. It seemed very natural to us and easy, which was the most important thing.
Steve, how's it feel for you to be back with these guys again?
Real nice, yeah. I mean, as Carl said, we're really proud of the first album, especially. It was it's how we created the Asia sound, really, was doing that. And we're able now to see, you know, with hindsight, that maybe in our show we're going to include, you know, some Korean music from each of our bands that we've been in, and the acoustic side you saw of us today. So we got quite an interesting show. I think what was great about it was that this year we all felt it was the right thing to do, you know, and we all had availabilities, as Carl said too. It wasn't difficult to do this. It wasn't, you know, breaking arms and severing ties. It was really about the fact that we all had the space to see a shot of doing this again.
Well, having the space is a good point. And John and Geoff, I wanted to ask you about that as well, because I imagine part of this, trying to line up a reunion like this, is that none of you guys were really idle and sitting there dormant all this time. You all had respective projects, whether they be solo projects, other bands, other things that you've done. Some we've heard of here in America, maybe some that we haven't. So was it also a timing issue for you guys that you had to kind of find holes in your schedule to make this work?
Yeah, I think that was you know, quite an important aspect. I think that we all felt that we had a window, you know, where we could make this happen, and you know, that's what really inspired us to say, well, let's just go for it.
Who actually, John, who actually orchestrated this? Who made the first phone call? Who was the first guy to say, let's get the original lineup together?
It's hard to say, really. You know, there were so many kind of, so many calls going around that, you know, as Carl explained, you know, and as been said before, it felt very comfortable. I can't remember who made the original call, but
there were probably rumblings on the internet, you know.
there were, yeah, 25th anniversary.
I saw Geoff talking to Steve the other day, you know, and people.
Oh yeah,
It was very easy. That was the story. You know?
Would you
It
say
wasn't complicated.
Would you say that it was driven by fans, the fan response to a degree, the 25th anniversary?
We certainly knew that there would be enthusiasm from certain quarters, put it that way.
Right.
But the most important thing was that the four of us felt comfortable with it, and we discovered that on January the 5th, I think. We had a meeting, and really once we'd been able to stand in the same room and just say, you know, what about it? That was enough, really. Then it got down to logistics. You know.
Was that a tough thing to be able to stand in the same room at the first time? Were there hatchets that need to be buried? And it was
Nobody left the room.
Very clean. Nobody left the room. Very clean. We left the guns outside. That was fine. You know, it was easy. I mean, there is no story to tell really because it was very natural.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
And I think an important thing too that people should recognize is that there were various versions of Asia that existed after the first two records and this lineup of the band. Some of you in it, some of it you guys were not in it at times, but I'm sure it's very important for you guys all. I think that each one of you are sitting here today, right?
It was incredibly important that it was the original four.
Yeah, I think
in terms of public perception, in terms of our comfort,
yes,
and in terms of the business, really.
Yeah, because this is honest. This is real.
That is what created the sound of Asia. It was the sum of the four parts, and that made something special because we're all individuals as well. But when we came together as Asia, it was a very different animal.
Right. Talk about the first rehearsal that you guys have done with the group so far. The very first time you were in a room together and no one walked out. What about when you first rehearsed together and plugged in?
That was our band.
Yeah, I think that goes down. That's the sentence.
Did anyone want to walk out after that?
I think we picked it up very quick. The first time we played it was Time Again, because that's just one of the songs that, you know, we all had a part of and we all feel very close to. So it kicked off with that song, and there was this marvelous pregnant pause. We finished it, dong, and I kind of looked around the room and said, wow, I think that was pretty good, guys. I kind of tried to break the ice. But like John said, most probably it was a bit ragged at first, but, you know, the homework we were doing, you know, and the rehearsing we just did in the UK has been very beneficial to pull the music back together. And I think the chemistry is there, you know, with the band, with the individuals.
Absolutely.
Coming up. The guys deliver an absolutely knockout performance that'll leave you breathless. And later, it's all straight ahead when Hangin' with Asia rolls on.
Brought to you by Sharpie. Write out loud.
Welcome back to Hangin' with Asia. So how refreshing was it to hear that there was no drama at all when the guys decided to get back together? I mean, these are scenarios we just love hearing about at VH1 Classic. Oh, and how laid back were they? I'm so laid back. Reuniting for the first time in over 20 years, they were still just as cool as can be. Oh, and speaking of cool, remember to check out originalasia.com to see when the group's headed to a town near you. All right, now get ready because right now in the VH1 Classic studio, Asia's exhilarating performance for Don't Cry.
for you. You girl, you've always been mistreated and cheated. So leave it all behind you. It took so long to find you. I know that we can last forever.
Coming up, finally, a legitimate excuse to give into that sweet tooth.
And I understand we have a birthday in the house.
Hey!
Happy birthday, dude. There you go.
Thank you very much. Very proud of you.
But first,
the smile that left your eyes. The smile has left your eyes.
the festivities continue when Hangin' with Asia returns. Hey, glad to have you back with us for Hangin' with Asia. Now, I don't know about you, but watching that last performance gave me such goosebumps. Now, if you felt the same way, then let me just remind you that Asia's on a 25th anniversary reunion tour. This Hangin' with Asia is just a taste of what you'll get when you're at one of their concerts. I promise you that. Log on to originalasia.com for a list of tour dates. But now, without further ado, It is Asia with The Smile Has Left Your Eyes.
I saw you standing hand in hand, but now you come to me, the solitary man. And I know what it is that made us live such ordinary lives. The way to go, though, to see no one could sympathize. The smile has left your eyes. The smile has left your eyes. And I've become a rolling stone. I don't know where to go, what to call my own. But I can see that black horizon looming ever close to view. It's over now, it's not my fault. See how this feels for you. The smile has left your eyes. The smile has left your eyes. And I never thought I'd see you standing there with me. So don't come crying back to me. I saw you standing hand in hand, but now you come to me, the solitary man. And I know what it is that made it live such ordinary lives. Where to go, though, to see no one can sympathize. The smile has left your eyes. Now it's too late, you realize. Now there's no one can sympathize. Now that the smile has left your eyes. Now it's too late, you realize. Now there's no one can sympathize. Now it's too late, you realize. Now that the smile has left your eyes. Now that the smile has left your eyes.
Man, all I can say is, wow. Am I right? I mean, come on, you know me, I'm never at a loss for words, but right now I just can't find the right adjective to describe what we just saw. So I'll leave it up to you guys to fill in the superlatives. Okay, you know by now that the guys have reunited, but I bet you didn't know that one of the fellas was actually celebrating an anniversary of a different sort.
If I can, while I have you guys all here, can you take me through what projects most recently that you were working on before Asia came back together again, real quickly? Carl, I mean, you did a solo tour recently,
I did the
right?
tour, which started in May, finished in June, my band. As you know, we were talking about
Yes,
that.
absolutely.
Had a great time. Had a couple of albums out, CDs out, and just finished off a live DVD, which was actually MTV in Romania, one of their prog rock festivals, and that's out now. So that's what I've been working on the last couple of months.
Steve?
Yeah, back, I guess, since 2004, it was a very busy year. I released my own solo DVD called Steve Howe's Remedy Live. And then Yes, finished up a whole lot of years of building back with Roger Dean's stage that year. But since then, 05 was a little quiet, did a lot of recording and finished up some things that are for the future. And then this year I did a solo tour of America in April, which is the one-man show that I like to do with my 6 guitars and out there. And then I did the same thing in Europe and England a little bit. And then it just worked out beautifully to come into August and then really start to focus like everybody else was on Asia again.
And John and Jeff, you guys work together also, right?
We've got our own project called Icon, which is something we really stumbled on a couple of years ago. I think John was doing a solo album called Rock of Faith, and we thought we'd write a couple of songs for it, and we sort of started off, and it kind of developed from there, really. So we've been doing some fairly small tours here in the UK.
Germany.
Got another album coming up shortly.
Yes, we do.
Good. Well, it seems like it's a good time right now because people have Asia back, which everyone loves, and you also have the opportunity to still do some of your other projects. And I'm going to ask you guys if you'd be so kind to pass this around and grab a Sharpie retractable marker and sign retractable. There you go. See, it's retractable. Well, that's what's important because no one's ever seen Sharpies like that before. See that, Carl?
Do I pull this?
No,
Do I turn it?
You push this just like a pen.
It comes out.
There you go.
It's all right.
I just ruined one of the greatest drummers over here with the Sharpie.
Oh, good color.
Wow.
Would you like to pick a different color?
Pick a color.
Then?
This
I like this.
is going to go on our wall of fame here with all the other great records.
Do we get to keep this?
Collection.
Yes, we do, yeah.
John's going to choose now.
Absolutely.
Choose a color.
More of a ready kind of.
Okay, you've narrowed my choice down.
And let me ask you real quickly what you're signing. VH1 Classic is a big supporter of VH1's Save the Music initiative, which we help to keep school music programs alive. And I know music education for all of you was very important. As a matter of fact, Steve, your sons play guitar also? Or
no, they play drums.
Drums.
My eldest son plays drums, Dylan Howe, and Virgil plays keyboards and drums, funny enough. And they're both highly musical, which is great fun.
I did a tour earlier on this year with the School of Rock in Philadelphia, and we played in New York City, and they are fabulous. But 20 young musicians, all aged from 10 to 19, and they're brilliant.
Well, if anyone would know anything about the importance of music education, I would think that it would be you guys because of the virtuoso players that you all are, and it's just something we work very hard to keep going and keep funding the school music program. So
you guys appreciate it.
And I understand we have a birthday in the house. Happy birthday, dude. There you go.
Thank you very much. Very kind of you.
Carl wanted to know if you were going to get that smashed in your face. Or John said, no, we don't want to do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
No, I wouldn't do that. He likes
happy birthday to you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Great to see you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you.
Continued success with the individual projects. It's great to have Asia back as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
What a terrific moment. I just love surprises. I mean, did you guys see the look on Geoff's face when he saw that cake? Priceless. What a pleasure it was to have one of the greatest compilation of musicians reunite and drop by our studio to hang with VH1 Classic's Eddie Trunk. I'm telling you, it was just the best. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I'm Lynn Hoffman, and I'll see you next time.